Yeah, welcome back, students. See, in the last lecture, we have studied about the functional areas of cerebrum. Correct? We have gone across this diagram and we have studied that the entire cerebrum has been divided into different lobes. Okay, by means of central, parieto-occipital and lateral sulcus. तो ये जो तीन sulcus है वो पूरे brain को उन्होंने parietal, frontal, occipital and temporal ऐसे lobes में divide किया है. And these lobes further shows certain functional areas. जैसे frontal lobe में there are four functional areas as you can see here. Motor area, premotor area, association area and Broca's area. Motor area is concerned with the movement of the muscles during the voluntary functions like walking, running. तब जो हमारे movement होता है muscles का writing and all, that is motor area. Premotor area controls involuntary movements and autonomous nervous system. Involuntary movement means peristalsis, breathing and all. So that is being controlled by the premotor area. Then you become anger, emotions, depression, ये सभी वहाँ पे control होता है. Then comes association area. Association area will bring the association between sensation and the movement. See, when you hear something, you move out. Someone calls you, you go towards it. That is called as association. Then comes Broca's speech area या motor speech area. That will be converting your thoughts into speech. So when you speak, your thoughts are converted into speech. तो उसके लिए यहाँ पे present है Broca's area या motor speech area. Now see in parietal lobe what is present. Parietal lobe shows controls sensation of pain, pressure, temperature and taste. Taste का sensation it is called as gustatoreceptor या gustatory sensation. Temporal lobe में है center for smell, hearing, speech and emotions. Occipital lobe shows controls sense of vision. So this question is very important. Functional areas of cerebrum. Now next to this comes Wernicke's area. There is one more area which is present near about in the temporal lobe and it's called as Wernicke's area. This area will be helping you in understanding of your spoken and written words. What you write, what you speak, everything has been controlled by this Wernicke's area. Now, there is one more concept called as basal nuclei or basal ganglia. Now, what do you mean by this? So, when you have gray matter in white matter, okay, as same like that of the arbor vitae की तरह, gray matter and white matter का जब mixture होता है, it will be helping the cortex region in execution or carrying out certain activities at your subconscious level. Means the things which you do, sometimes even I asked you all to write something, you write it one time, two times you have written, and then when it comes to 4 to 5 times, so you come into a situation like you go on writing but you still don't know what you're writing. करेक्ट, आप कंटिन्यूसली लिखते रहते हो लेकिन एक ऐसा लिमिट आता है तब आपको पता ही नहीं आप क्या लिख रहे हो, कि जबरदस्ती आप लोग जो करते हो, दैट कम्स इन योर सबकॉन्शियस लेवल एंड दैट इज कंट्रोल्ड बाय दिस बेसल न्यूक्लियर. Corpus striatum is the largest basal nucleus and this you can see at the floor of cerebrum. Cerebrum के floor पे ये basal nucleus है, that is called as corpus striatum. Okay. So this diagram for the functional areas is also important. You have to draw these diagrams in your notebook. Now next to cerebrum comes diencephalon. Diencephalon is said to be the third part of the forebrain. And you will see it is present below corpus callosum. Corpus callosum क्या है? It is a band of nerve tissue which is joining the two cerebral hemispheres. And then above the midbrain. तो midbrain नीचे है, corpus callosum इसके ऊपर है. What is the ventricle or the cavity of diencephalon called as? The cavity of diencephalon is called as diocele. It is known as diocele. It will be communicating the two lateral ventricles of the cerebrum with the foramen of Monro. So it is connecting it with foramen of Monro. Because the foramen of Monro एक depression है जो सेरिब्रम को डायनसेफेलॉन के साथ ज्वाइन करता है. ओके, तो डायनसेफेलॉन का कैविटी है डायोसील या थर्ड वेंट्रिकल एंड सेरिब्रम का कैविटी है लैटरल वेंट्रिकल. Now next comes the parts of diencephalon. Diencephalon shows three parts: epithalamus, thalamus and hypothalamus. As you can see here in the diagram, here the upper part is called as epithalamus. Then comes a middle part which is called as thalamus, which is on both the sides, and then comes hypothalamus. So on the top is epithalamus, on both the sides is thalamus. Epithalamus is the roof, thalamus is the lateral walls, यानी दोनों side में, and hypothalamus is towards the lower side. Okay, so in this diagram you can easily see all the three parts: epithalamus, thalamus and hypothalamus. अभी ये diagram भी बहुत important है, where you can see all the parts of diencephalon. Okay. Now see epithalamus. Epithalamus is called as the roof of diencephalon. अभी इसमें आपको क्या पता होना चाहिए? One, it is the upper part. Second, epithalamus also shows the anterior choroid plexus. तो ये choroid plexus organ है, उसका anterior part epithalamus में present है. Epithalamus में there is one a part which is acting as a projection coming out of it. The projection of epithalamus is called as pineal body. You can see here in this diagram. Okay, pineal body is the projection of epithalamus. If you see this diagram, a part comes this side. यहाँ पे ये जो bulge दिखता है आपको, उसका नाम है pineal body. Yeah. So it shows pineal body, and pineal body produces two hormones. One is melatonin and other is serotonin. There they have given only about melatonin. So melatonin is a hormone which is sleep-inducing hormone. Okay, it controls your rhythm of sleep. We all are in a condition where we work in the daytime and sleep at night time. So this is our biological rhythm या sleep rhythm. तो इस rhythm को control कौन करता है? Melatonin. And it is also related to the reproductive behavior. Okay, the secretion of the reproductive hormones is also under the control of this melatonin. So when your sleep is disturbed, obviously all other hormones will also be disturbed. Then come to thalamus. Thalamus shows the side walls. दोनों तरफ है, diencephalon के दोनों तरफ है. That is thalamus. Thalamus contains gray matter, and you will see that both the parts of thalamus are joined together by habencular commissure. So this is the organ, or this is a band which is joining the two thalami together. Different parts of the brain are interconnected by RAS, that is reticular activating system, through this thalami. Now this thalami here is acting as a dish antenna. जैसे डिश एंटीना में सारे चैनल्स एक साथ वहाँ पे आके वहाँ से डिस्ट्रीब्यूट होते हैं. The same thing happens here. All the sensations except sense of smell. Sense of smell को छोड़ के बाकी सारे sensations thalamus में आके ही यहाँ से distribute होते हैं. Getting? So that's why this is called as relay center, because it transmits all sensory impulses except olfactory यानी sense of smell to the cerebrum. तो cerebrum तक सारे sensations thalamus से होके ही जाते हैं. The narrow cavity of diencephalon, which is called as diocele. Okay, तो ये जो diocele है ऊपर की तरफ वो foramen of Monro से connected है, और नीचे वो sylvius या फिर eater से connected है. तो lower part it is connected with upper part it is connected with foramen of Monro, and lower part it is connected with sylvius or eater. Then comes to hypothalamus. Hypothalamus is said to be the floor of diencephalon, and it is highly vascular because it is supplied with blood vessels, and it helps in the feedback mechanism for hormonal control. अब इसका मतलब क्या है? Now see, this is the part which has got certain receptors. Inhibiting and releasing factors are present here in hypothalamus, जो डिसाइड करते हैं कि हार्मोन को रिलीज करना है या इनहिबिट करना है. Okay, so if your blood has got more amount of that hormone, then hypothalamus is going to stimulate its inhibiting factors. Whereas if a particular hormone is less in your blood, then hypothalamus will be giving a signal to release the hormone. That is called as feedback mechanism. It also maintains homeostasis, internal equilibrium of the body, and involuntary behavior control. So that is also being controlled by hypothalamus. Okay. Then there are certain hypothalamic nuclei in the white matter of hypothalamus which have got neurosecretory cells, and these neurosecretory cells, they produce certain hormones. As it is connected with pituitary gland, which is the master endocrine gland, and as it is a part of the brain, it has connection with both nervous system as well as with the hormonal system. Now if you see in this diagram, this is hypothalamus and this is pituitary gland. Pituitary gland is a lower projection of hypothalamus. Okay, so as hypothalamus is a part of brain, it is a part of nervous system, and as it is connected to pituitary gland, it is a part of endocrine system. तो दोनों systems का ये part है. A complex neuronal circuit called as limbic system is formed by hypothalamus. और इस limbic system में क्या क्या included है? It shows amygdala, parts of epithalamus and thalamus, hippocampus and some other areas. जहाँ पे amygdala is concerned with your emotions and hippocampus is concerned with the retrieving memory, that is the memory which has been lost and you are recollecting it back. तो उसके लिए हिपोकैम्पस है टू रिकलेक्ट मेमोरी एंड एमिगडाला इज फॉर इमोशंस, कंट्रोलिंग इमोशंस. It is also appears to be responsible for emotional reactions, motivational drives and memory. Okay, जहाँ पे emotional reactions के लिए amygdala है, memory के लिए hippocampus है and motivational drive के लिए the entire hypothalamus works. अभी ये जो hypothalamus है, it is attached to pituitary gland as you have seen. लेकिन वो कहाँ से अटैच्ड है? एज यू कैन सी हियर इन दिस डायग्राम, ये हाइपोथैलेमस है, ये पिट्यूटरी ग्लैंड है. तो बीच में ये जो स्टिक है जिससे वो अटैच्ड है, दैट स्टिक इज कॉल्ड एज इनफंडिबुलम. ओके, सो the inferior surface of the hypothalamus also bears optic chiasma. Now what is optic chiasma? Here there is crossing of two optic nerves. जहाँ पे दो optic nerves यानी nerves coming out from the eyes, they cross each other, then it is called as optic chiasma. And a pair of mammillary bodies. Now what are these mammillary bodies meant for? Mammillary bodies are certain unique features of the mammalian bone which is working with hippocampus in recollecting memory. वो हिपोकैम्पस के साथ काम करता है फॉर रिकलेक्टिंग मेमोरी. तो दिस क्वेश्चन इज ऑल्सो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, पार्ट्स ऑफ डायनसेफेलॉन विद देयर फंक्शन. So usually this entire question is not asked in the exam. Either they may ask you functions of any one of this or entire explanation for hypothalamus. Now what is function of hypothalamus? This question can come for 2 marks. Regulates heartbeat, respiration, blood pressure, body temperature, water and electrolyte balance. Electrolyte balance is the balance of salt and water. It has centers for hunger, thirst, sleep, fatigue. Satiety center. Satiety means the satisfaction of the food you eat. Secretion of the glands of stomach and intestine. It also produces neurohormones that stimulate the pituitary gland. Major function है homeostasis, that is maintaining our internal environment constant. It controls the sensory activities of the pituitary gland by releasing and inhibiting hormones. As I told you, they have receptors present in them which can either release the hormones or stop the secretion of hormones. Basal nuclei, we have just studied before regarding it. They are the mixtures of gray matter in white matter, and which is the most important or responsible basal nucleus. It is called as cerebral. Correct? Crura corpus striatum, which is present at the base of the cerebrum. Different functional areas of the brain can be mapped by different techniques. As you can see that the heart can be mapped by means of ECG, then 2D echoes, correct? Then echoangiography. All these are the different measures to map the working of the heart. Same way, working of brain can be mapped by different techniques like EEG, that is electroencephalography, PET, that is positron emission tomography, then fMRI, functional MRI, pharmacological functional MRI, that is PHMRI. These are different techniques by which there can be mapping of the brain done. Now what is EEG? The electrical signals called brain waves. जैसे ECG, they can map the electrical signals of the heart. Same way, EEG can mark the electrical signals of the brain, which have been generated by the neurons close to the brain surface, mainly the neurons in the cerebral cortex. This also can be detected by means of electrodes, and these electrodes are placed on one's forehead and scalp. Okay, and the record comes down in the form of a graphical waves, electroencephalogram or EEG. It is useful in studying normal brain functions such as changes that occur during sleep and in diagnosing various disorders like epilepsy, tumors, trauma, hematomas, metabolic abnormalities, sites of trauma, and degenerative diseases. So all this can be mapped by EEG. EEG also utilized to establish or confirm that the brain death has occurred. Which are the silent areas of the brain? The silent areas of the brain are the cerebral or cerebellar surfaces on which lesions cause no sensory or motor functional symptoms. They are called as the silent areas of the brain. Lesion का मतलब होता है injury. What is midbrain? Midbrain is the brain which is present in between the diencephalon and pons varolii. Diencephalon is a part of forebrain, pons varolii is a part of hindbrain. So midbrain is present between these two. It connects or it contains cerebral aqueduct or ether that connects the third and the fourth ventricle. Third ventricle is in the diencephalon, fourth is in the medulla. So it is joining both third and fourth. Corpora quadrigemina. Now the word comes quadrigemina because we have got four rounded elevations. Human beings may there are four rounded elevations, two superior and two inferior. Okay, and that's why it is called as quadrigemina, that is four. And these elevations are meant for what? Like the two superior collicules, they are involved in the visual reflexes that you see something and you say yes or no. इसके लिए है superior colliculi, दूसरा है inferior colliculi, which is again contained with the relay centers for auditory reflexes, that you hear something and you say yes or no. Someone is asking you something and you say yes or no, you not use your head movement, correct? तो जो head का movement करते हैं by seeing something is controlled by superior colliculi, और head का movement which is controlled by inferior colliculi is on hearing something, that is auditory reflex. The midbrain also contains on its inferior surface two thick fibrous tracts called as crura cerebri. Tracts means what? Nerve nets or fibers ka bunch is present there called as cerebral peduncles or crura cerebri. Now next, the tracts of ascending and descending nerve fibers, that's called as RAS, connect the cerebrum and midbrain. We have studied about this. It is not renin-angiotensin, it's actually reticular activating system. Near the center of the midbrain, okay, renin-angiotensin has to be cancelled here. It comes reticular activating system, जिसका full form हमने पहले ही किया हुआ है. Okay. So I can do one thing here. I'll just cut down this part. Okay, it is reticular activating system which we have done in the last part. Near the center of the midbrain is a mass of gray matter scattered within the white matter, and this is called as the red nucleus. It plays an important role in controlling it is, okay, controlling posture and muscle tone, modifying some motor activities and motor coordination. See, these are simple things. At least what is the function of red nucleus and all you have to know in one line. And see that you are drawing all the diagrams given in your notebooks. See, this is a diagram showing amygdala, hippocampus. Hypothalamus attached to pituitary gland. It shows the presence of amygdala here, and this is hippocampus. This is the basal nucleus we were studying about, isn't it? That is mixture of gray matter and white matter. तो ये diagram भी आपको draw करना है. Now next comes hindbrain or rhombencephalon. Hindbrain में तीन parts है, pons varolii, cerebellum and medulla oblongata. Now when you see the first part here, it's pons varolii. In the diagram you can easily see pons varolii. ये जो bulge portion है, that is called pons varolii, जिसके नीचे medulla oblongata है, जिसके side में cerebellum है और जिसके ऊपर cerebrum है. This part is called as pons varolii. It consists of what? So it consists of band of nerve fibers which are connecting the cerebrum, cerebellum, medulla and spinal cord. तो इन सारे organs को ये connect करता है. It connects cerebrum, cerebellum, medulla and then the spinal cord. Now come to cerebellum. Cerebellum is said to be the second largest part of the brain. As cerebrum has got two cerebral hemispheres, here you can see it has got three parts. Two lateral hemispheres and in the central there is presence of vermis. तो दोनों साइड में दो हेमिस्फीयर्स है और बीच में वर्मिस है. White matter intermixes with the gray matter here and forms a arbor vitae, tree-like appearance. You can see here, this is cerebellum and gives a tree-like appearance where white matter is mixed with gray matter. It's called arbor vitae. Surface of the cerebellum also shows gyri and sulci, that is depressions and furrows. Three pairs of myelinated bundles called as cerebellar peduncles will be connecting cerebellum to other parts of CNS. The cerebellum is connected to different parts of the brain by means of cerebellar peduncles. Now the last part of the hindbrain is medulla oblongata. It is the posterior most part of the brain और वो आगे जाके continue होता है as spinal cord. Inner has the gray matter, outer is white matter. Okay, your from pons Maroni onwards it has changed. Inner will be gray and outer will be white. What this medulla oblongata does, it controls all the vital functions like heartbeat, respiration, vasomotor activities. Vasomotor means the activities of the blood vessels. Blood vessels contract and relax when the blood flows. And then comes peristalsis. Peristalsis is the movement of the food when it goes from mouth to stomach. Controls non-vital activities like coughing, sneezing, swallowing, vomiting, yawning. ये सब का सेंटर भी मेडुला में प्रेजेंट है. Now, what is the cavity of medulla oblongata? Cavity of medulla oblongata is the fourth ventricle. Okay, it's called as metacele. And it also has got the posterior choroid plexus. अगर आपको याद है तो एपिथैलेमस में anterior choroid plexus था और उसका posterior part present है medulla oblongata में. And the function is secretion of CSF, cerebrospinal fluid. Posterior choroid plexus के तीन openings है क्योंकि यहाँ से cerebrospinal fluid spinal cord में जाएगा. One is pair of lateral foramen called as Lacha and other is a median foramen of Magendie. तो ये दो टर्म्स याद रखने. These are the openings of posterior choroid plexus in medulla oblongata. Now, if you get a question for 2 marks, what are the functions of cerebellum and medulla oblongata? What you'll write? So, cerebellum maintains equilibrium of the body, posture, balancing, orientation, moderation of voluntary movements, and maintenance of muscle tone. इसमें से कोई भी 2-3 याद रखो. Then regulatory center for neuromuscular activities and it controls activities like walking, running, speaking, etc. See, actually these activities are controlled by cerebrum and cerebellum is giving it a final touch. यानी जब तक cerebellum का final touch इसे नहीं मिलता है तब तक ये activity control नहीं होगा. All activities of cerebellum are involuntary, means which are not in our control. Functions of medulla. As we have discussed earlier, it has got center for all the vital functions, heartbeats, respiration, vasomotor activities and peristalsis. ये नॉन वाइटल एक्टिविटी या रिफ्लेक्स एक्टिविटीज को भी कंसर्न करता है लाइक कफिंग, swallowing, vomiting, yawning, etc. Okay, so these questions are also very, very important. Now on this, you may get an application based question like a person who is addicted, okay, who is in an addiction of alcohol or a drug, that addiction directly goes and affects the cerebellum part of the brain. And that is the reason the person loses control on its body posture and balancing. Okay, तो ये एक application based question है. Why a person who is addicted to alcohol or any other addictions do not have control on its posture and balancing. Reason क्या है? Because those drugs or alcohol directly goes and affects the cerebellum part of nervous system. Okay, and that is the reason the person loses control on its balance and equilibrium. Okay, so that's all for today. We'll stop here.